The winner of the maiden edition of the presidential pitch, a Ministry of Business Development initiative to support startups in the country, was privileged to have the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Akufo Addo, donate a personal sum of 25,000 Ghana cedis to support her business idea. A year on, ABC News interacts with Vanessa Liman to assess the progress she has made with her idea and to find out what impact such an initiative has had on her business. Welcome, Vanessa Liman.
Thank you very much.
What was your business idea?
Okay, I'm into agro-processing. That's value addition of cereal grains. So basically, we produce breakfast cereal from cereal grains.
So when you say cereal grains, there are a lot of them. So which of them do you specialize in?
So specifically, we are into maize and wheat at the moment. But in the near future, we intend to add millet to it.
You go and buy maize, and what do you do to the maize?
Okay.
To add value to it, and what kind of value do you add to it?
We source our maize from the farmers in the north. So we go to the factories in the north actually. So we go to the farmers and we source our raw materials. That's the maize from the farmers, and not only maize too as well. We also use honey too as well. So we go to the beekeepers and we source honey from them, and we use fresh cow milk and we add value to it. So with the maize cereal, that's the one here. It's made of maize, coconut, and skim milk powder. So the maize is the raw material, that's the cereal grain. So we add value to it. So we add value by adding other things like the coconut and the skim milk powder, and it turns into breakfast cereal. So that's value addition of cereal grains. That's what we mean by that.
And you do all of that in Accra? Or where's your factory? Where do you process and package all of it?
Okay, so the processing is done there because most of the raw materials are sold in the north, in the upper west, in Golu. So because most of the raw materials are sourced from that side, and also we also intend to create employment and minimize post-harvest losses. So that's why the factory is there. So most of the raw materials are sourced from that side. So it's processed. When I say processed, it's gone through, we normally use a roaster, we use a grinder and everything. That's how it's processed. And it's transported to Accra, and that's where the packaging is done. So when it's transported here, it's reheated again and packaged into finished goods, and that's when distribution takes place. So that's when we distribute to the supermarkets, to individuals and everything.
And how do you get in contact with the farmers to ensure that the produce from their farms are of the best quality?
We have badge numbers in every product. We have badge numbers. So we use the traceability method. So if every product, let's say this quantity of products, we have badge numbers. So in every badge number, there's, let's say, 001 in every badge number of every product we produce. So if we go and supply 001 of this product of badge numbers to a particular supermarket, that particular type of badge, if, let's say, a customer buys the product and there's weevils, or the product goes bad, or the taste or anything, we are able to trace where we source that raw materials from. So that's the traceability method. So because of the badge numbers, we know we source that particular raw material from this particular farmer. So that's why we use the badge numbers for it. So we're able to trace it from the farmer where we actually bought the raw material from. Then we say, okay, no, it's either we stop buying it from you, or you do something about your maize or your coconut or whatever we are buying from you. So we use the badge numbers to trace where we source our raw materials from every product.
At the time of applying into the competition, at what stage was your business? So did you already have clients you were supplying? Were you already in business? Were you making profits?
It was actually a startup. I actually started the business. So it wasn't an idea. I had already taken the idea into the next step. So I had already started producing, but I was selling on a small scale. So I'm still selling on a small scale because it's still a process. So when I started, I used to sell to my friends, I used to sell to family members. I was actually doing sampling. Because when you start a product, when you start producing, you need to sample the product to see if it can actually penetrate the market. So that's how we started. We started with sampling and everything. And I was actually producing on a very small scale. because I didn't have the money to scale up. I didn't have the money to produce more. And so when I sell to individuals, the money I get, I actually buy more, a little bit of raw materials and start produce more.
How much did you used to produce?
Before I won the presidential pitch, oh, it wasn't even up to me because I started the business last year, May. Okay, I registered last year, May. I started in April. So May, June, July.
You were kind of test running.
Yeah. So May, it was actually 2 months after I started my business, and I won the presidential pitch. So at that point, I wouldn't say I was selling. Seriously, I can't even account for it. I can't account for it.
You can't even account for the revenue you were getting at the
because
time.
it was just 2 months and I was sampling. So what I was doing was, and I wasn't making major sales. I wouldn't say I was making. I was actually running at a loss, and at a point I got stuck because I didn't have more money to fund, like to put more, to buy raw materials, because I wasn't making any money from it.
And then you entered into the presidential pitch.
Yes.
And then you won.
Yeah,
and
I
then
won
the president gave you part of his salary.
Yes.
Which made you so happy. I know. Winning means that you are going to get about 40,000, 50,000
yes.
Ghana cedi. How long did that money get to you?
The same day I got the 25,000. So we went to Jubilee House to take the checks. So they gave me the 50,000. They gave all of us the money. They gave me the 50,000. The president gave me his 25,000.
So what difference has that made, winning that competition, to to making sure you are where you are now?
Okay. Currently with the presidential pitch, it has really changed a lot of things in my business and in my personal life too, as well, because I've gotten that exposure. That's one thing I can say the presidential pitch has done for me, and it has actually taught me certain things in life. I've been able to scale up my business, and I mean, so far so good, because before then I didn't think I was ever going to come this far. I knew, I mean, I started a business alright, but I didn't intend to go this big. I didn't intend to do certain things within a short period of time, because in less than a year I've actually rebranded. I have FDA, I have a factory, and so even though the factory is still going under construction, but I've been able to achieve certain things within a year because of the presidential pitch.
And all of this is from the 75,000 that you won?
Not only from the 75,000. I mean, after you win, one thing about the Ministry of Business Development is that when they fund you, they don't leave you. They hold you, they incubate you, and they also support you. They still support you. So it's not only the 75,000. They support you, they send you for trainings, they send so many things. They still support you financially also.
It's been a year since you won the maiden edition of the presidential pitch. What form of assistance, or what forms of assistance have you received from the ministry?
Financial assistance. We have incubators. We have people who train us. If we are facing problems, let's say when you are going to register your products, FDA and everything, they assist you with certain things. So when you are going for trainings and all those things, they assist you.
How did you come by the concept?
Okay, so I think last year in February, I mean, when I completed school when I was 18, 19 there. When you finish school, you have to wait, I think, 6 months for your results and everything. And at that point of your life, you are very idle. So I didn't have anything to do, and I started to. My mom is into shea butter, so she processed shea butter into cosmetics and everything. So I decided to market her product to my friend. We used to go and sell her product. We used to go to offices, we used to go to shops and start marketing her product. So last year, February, I went to the international trade fair. They organized an international trade fair, and my mom and I partook in the trade fair. So I was assisting in helping her sell the products and everything. Then after, we sold a lot, almost 5,000 cedis in 10 days. And I was thinking, I mean, if I was mostly the one doing the sales, and I realized I could sell a lot. So I was like, if I can actually sell products in 10 days for 5,000, why can't I also do something for myself? And when we go for trade fairs, so the plan was just to produce when there's trade fair, not to always produce and go for supply to supermarkets and everything. So I was like, okay, fine. If I can do that, why don't I also come up with a product? So after the trade fair, I was there thinking of what to do and everything. Then I spoke to my mom about it, and something just came into my mind. Back in school, my mom used to prepare Cerelac for me. Like, she used to do it for me back in school, and I used to take it. Yeah, and I realized that, I mean, it wasn't that good at that time. So I was like, okay, so why don't I add value to the Cerelac and produce and start selling? So that's why I was able to come up with a name. At that point, I was thinking of a name to use. Then Neslac came. But the Neslac is from my name, Vanessa, Nessa. So the lac is lactose. Lactose is something that contains milk content in it and everything. So at that point, I was like, okay. So I started sampling. So I went to the market, went to buy 1 kg of maize, coconuts, and some other things, and I started doing it. So I put them in small sachets, and I give them to my cousin to dash it to her friends. She was in primary by then, so to taste, to see if they like it. So they liked it to the extent that they were even buying it. Like, I was like, if kids are buying it, then that's market for me. They like it, and they are even buying it. So I invested my lifetime savings into it. That was like the first risks I took, and
How much is that?
it was 500 Ghana cedis. Yes. So I invested my savings into. I was actually going to use the money to buy a phone, but I was like, if I can invest into it and I can make 3 times the profit, I can actually buy a phone. And yeah, that was my mind. So I invested my money into it, and I started. I got my cousin to design labels for me. Then I bought containers. Then I started producing and everything. And it wasn't easy at that point because, I mean, you have a product, yes, but selling is one thing, is the most difficult thing. Selling something to someone is very difficult, especially when it's yours. If it's someone, you have to have that kind of, if you don't believe in yourself or if you don't believe in your product, how are you going to sell it to someone?
Let's come to employment. You began this alone with your mom, with the assistance of your mother, you mentioned. How many people have you employed over time?
I have 4 permanent employees and 10 sales personnel. So with the sales personnel, they sell products and they are paid commission basis. So the more you sell, the more money you make. And at the end of the month, they are given salaries too as well. And the 4 people are permanent workers. Those are the ones who process it.
So they process in Golu,
yeah,
in Upper West.
Yeah.
And then when it comes here,
I have someone that helps me package. The packaging is not really that difficult as the processing.
Has the ministry assisted you to set up, say, a marketing team or an operational department, or even come to your assistance in, dictating to you how you would operate your business or how you would sell your business to clients and customers?
I'm following my business plan. I have all those things: operation manager, the CEO, the operation manager, the production manager, the sales personnel, the financial and everything. I have all those things.
And so what the business development ministry is giving you is just the guidance.
Yeah,
the
guidance. Yes.
Role.
Yeah, exactly.
Seminars and that ends.
Yes.
It doesn't go beyond.
Well, if you want more assistance, you just go to them and they help you with it.
What is the payment structure like for the startup capital that you were given by the ministry?
With that aspect of it, I really don't want to talk about it because the ministry I think it's their duty to talk more about it. But yeah, it was a loan, yes.
How many sachets do you now produce, and what's the returns?
I haven't broken even yet. That's what I have to say because, I mean, the business is just 1 year old and there's no way you can break even in this short period of time. And as I said, the factory is still going under construction. So whatever sales I make, I have to invest it back again because assets is really expensive. Buildings are really expensive. And I have like 2 buildings too as well, like at the moment. So currently, I'm producing a lot. I'm actually supplying to a few supermarkets in Tema, in Cape Coast, in Kumasi, in Tesano, in some few places. but I intend to supply to ShopRite, Melcom and Kuala probably before the end of the year. So I wouldn't say I'm producing on a large scale because I haven't.
So you cannot give a quantity of, so say monthly I produce about 500 products and I distribute them across the shops you've mentioned.
We are able to produce about, let's say, 3 or 4 cartons in a day. And 3 or 4 cartons is 24 pieces in one carton.
With the prospects you see with this, by what time do you think that you'll be standing on your feet and then you can break even and make profits?
In 6 months.
In 6
or
months?
more than 6, let's say 8 months. Because the main reason why I haven't been able to break even is because of the factory. Because anytime I make profits, I invest it back into the factory and I buy more raw materials. So fixed assets, you don't make profits from fixed assets. As in, like when you invest in raw materials, you're able to produce more and get, but with a fixed asset, so any sales, most of the sales I make, I have to put it back into fixed assets. So you have to fence the building, do certain things, and it's a lot of money. So that's why, so immediately the factory is completed and I start using the machines I have purchased, then I can say I can start to break even because I wouldn't have to invest it back again into fixed assets.
I have been interacting with Vanessa Liman. She won the maiden edition of the presidential pitch and earned for herself a sum of 50,000 Ghana cedis. She was also privileged to have the President of the Republic, Nana Akufo Addo, give her a personal token of 25,000 Ghana cedis to assist her with her business development. In November, she tells me her factory in the Upper West region will be completed and she hopes to have the President in Gulu, where it is located, for the commissioning.